you doing today, my brother?
Check out that side and see
Where would you find yourself on that side right here? If you look closer, you see one side is what God call us, and the other side is what they call us here. What do they call you? Huh? No, I'm talking about your nationality. If you look here, this is what God call us here, and if you look on that side, you see what God, what they call you here in this system. Which one are you? Huh? Well, yeah, you can say that too. All those are titles that they put onto us. But are you really a nigga? No, you're not. This is believe it or not, we were called like they've been calling us this for centuries. That didn't happen only in America. Even the disciples, they were calling them that too. Did you know that? You know? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know that you're an Israelite? You do know that you're an Israelite. Okay, then that's good. Knowing that you're an Israelite, what do you think God requires from you? Do the right thing. What is the right thing? Help somebody cross the street? Something like that? How can we change our community? Y'all know? That should have been, okay, give me Sirach chapter 33, verse 17. I'm gonna show you something. You said do the right thing. That's still good, but that's not really what the Bible asks for. And this is what you should have wanna inquire. Watch this. How you doing today, my brother? We're going over who we are according to the Bible and what God's required from us. Come closer so you can hear what God says that we must do to change our neighborhood. Are we okay the way things are, how we've been treating in society? We're not okay, right? But guess what? God says that you are his chosen people. To be God's chosen people, you should be above everybody. Are we above everybody? No, we're not. That's why I want to show you why we're not above. No, we definitely.
Sirach chapter 33, verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
You see that? We used to have that kind of mindset back in the day. When one having a problem, how you doing today, my brother? When one having a problem, we all have a problem. Nowadays, everybody's sick for themselves. Hey, somebody, Ray Ray just got shot down the street. Ray Ray should have listened. Ray Ray don't do this. But not knowing that, hey, that affecting you too. Somebody come and sell drugs in your neighborhood. Guess who he affect? He affect you, he affect me. Sister got raped in our neighborhood. Who you think got raped? We all got raped because that's our sisters.
Right.
But guess what? We're not like that anymore. We seek for only ourselves. Right. You see, you don't even want to hear what I'm talking about. Don't we want to change our neighborhood? Don't you get tired of being called all kind of names? Then why don't we do that? Right. Why don't we want to know what God's required from us so we can change those things? Those names that they keep label us as niggas. Aren't we tired of getting called those names? Watch this. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. I'm going to show you what God called you. Okay, watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
God says you are holy unto him. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are holy unto God. Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
God chose you, my brother. He chose you. Out of all these nations you see, he chose you. That's a privilege. That's something you should take pride in, knowing that God picked you out of a bunch. He chose you and I'm going to prove it to you. Why did I say God chose you? Watch this. Read on.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
They don't teach us that in church, do they? Do they tell us that we are above everybody? No, they say that we are all equal. Really, we're not equal.
Right.
They say that, but when you look in society, when we get killed in the streets, what do? We go and march. Hey, that's the voice of God. God is telling you that we must repent and change our ways. That's what the Bible is teaching us.
Right.
Guess what? Well, like I was telling you, if you are God-chosen people, there's a certain way you gotta walk. There is a certain things you gotta do. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and 12. Hang on. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
See, now Israel, you so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, what does God want from you? Does God want you to just walk around like nobody? Or does God want you to be stand up tall? Show yourself a man.
Hey, smoke your cigarette.
And watch this. That's another thing. You can't be God on earth doing the things that the other nations are doing. Give me that in 1 Corinthians.
I tried to hide it.
Watch this. Watch what God says about you.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Did you see that? That's what we're talking about. Saying that you are God chosen. God is living in you. Don't you know that you are God's temple? Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
Guess what? God's Spirit is not in everybody, but God's Spirit is in you. You so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. God's Spirit is in you. He says, don't you know that you are God's temple?
Right.
Read.
If any man defile the temple of God.
If you defile that temple that he gave you, because only Israelites can have godly spirit in them. He says, if you defile that temple that I give you, read.
Him shall God destroy.
God will destroy you.
Right.
And you know how God destroy us? Pay attention. All praises. You know how God destroy us? When you look in predominantly who is high in all those type of disease. Cancer. AIDS, STDs, all those things have to do with us going against God's word. Right. God tell us not marriage is honorable, but guess what we say? Man, I want to have multiple. I want to have multiple girlfriends. I'm a pimp. I'm a macho man. I want to have multiple girlfriends. But guess what? The consequence of that is all type of disease. God telling you He'll judge you when you go against His word. Right. You understand that? That's why we don't want you to smoke, man. You are God. Try to finish that scripture for me.
Him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.
See that? God says the temple is holy. That's what you are. You are unholy people.
Right.
You're supposed to separate yourself from everybody else. Another thing, how many of you guys here eat pork? Yeah, I can see it in your face. I can tell already. Do you know why God says for you not to eat pork? Now think about it. Think of kingly status, okay? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Watch this. Now, would you say prince eat all kind of? Would a prince eat McDonald's or all type of food, or do they eat good stuff? They eat good stuff, right? Okay. If God says that you are His temple, would He allow you to eat anything you want to eat? No, that's why He give you a certain type of food to eat. Right. You can't eat shrimp. Guess what shrimp eat? All kind of remaining of other animal in the sea. Right. They said the sea right now is dirty. Why? Because they took all the lobsters, all the shrimps, the thing that's supposed to clean the sea, we remove them so we can eat them. Right. And God told you not to eat that thing. Right. And you wonder why you're sick. We're sick because we don't listen to God's voice. Watch this. Give me that in Leviticus. What God tell you not to do. So if you did it before, you didn't know, now you know. Don't do it anymore.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine.
What is swine? Pork. Okay, read.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. God says the pork is unclean to you. Guess what? The other nation can eat it. Right. They can. But you, He says, don't eat it. Because you're not everybody. You are God chosen people. You are God on earth. But if you are God on earth, you can't walk like everybody. Right. You got to separate yourself from those things that God tell you not to do. Right. I'm going to give you another example. What day is today? Today what? Today? Saturday, right? What significant is that day, Saturday? He's saying it like with a question. You unsure. But guess what? Those are the things that we should have known. Before you give me that, give me Psalm 78 and verse 5. I'm going to show you why we don't know those things. These should have been like nature. Read them. The book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 5. For He established a testimony in Jacob.
Jacob is our forefather. Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes. He established a testimony, okay? A testimony is a living will that you leave behind. Read.
And appointed a law in Israel Israel.
Appointed a law in Israel. He give you laws and statutes. He give you things to follow. Read.
Which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
That's the reason why we eating all type of nasty, defiled food, because our fathers didn't teach us these things.
Right.
Our fathers didn't tell us that we must have fringes in our clothes. Our fathers didn't teach us that we must keep the Sabbath day holy.
Right.
Those are the reasons. Finish that scripture.
Which he commanded our fathers, that should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them.
You know, if we had teach our young men those values, you would have less crime in the streets.
Right.
Who you think is doing all this crime you see going on right now? It's those young brothers. And you know how they doing it? They don't have a father in the household. And a lot of time you're dealing with a single house home. These young women, they open up to everybody that come around. And guess what? Those brothers that come around, they just say, thank you, ma'am, and they keep it moving. And now here you are raising 2, 3 children on your own. Now these kids have no one to check them, and they in every corner streets causing people trouble. That's the reason. We gotta hold ourselves to a higher standard to fix this. Who's supposed to fix that for us? Is it the white men that's supposed to fix this, or are we supposed to fix it? What are you willing to do to fix this? I'm asking you guys, because you seems to be pretty, you still kind of young, but you have enough understanding to know what's going on. What are you guys willing to do to change this? Because I'm tired of being called all kind of names. I'm tired of being stereotyped when I walk into a store. I want to look down upon them instead of them looking down upon me.
Right.
I say, hey, you're not worthy to do things for me. But it's not like that. Because we have a lower standards. You know why we have lower standards? God took away those pride from us. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. I'm going to show you. First of all, who is this guy right here?
Boss man.
Who is this guy right here? Jesus, right? What do you say? I didn't tell you to read. Oh,
I'm going to say Jesus.
You were going to say Jesus?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Believe it or not, I know. I'm asking you this, not by accident. I know, because that's what I used to believe too.
That's what I was always doing.
But guess what? You're being lied to, my brother.
Right.
You're being lied to. This is, my man, come here. Look, I want y'all to take a closer look to him, all right? And I'm going to give you a description, and you're going to tell me, who is that person? And because you are being deceived, you are prone to believe in anything that come around you. Watch this. First give me, no, I want you to give me a 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4 first. I'm going to watch this, listen to this. This is what Apostle Paul says for us to look out for. And Christ says the same thing too. Actually, give me the one from Christ first. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. No, 4.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
You see that? Christ himself said, take heed. Listen, be careful, because there will be others that will try to deceive you. Read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
Christ said many other people gonna come behind me say that they are Jesus Christ. Y'all following? We don't.
And shall deceive many.
And they shall deceive many.
Right.
You talking about Christianity is like the biggest religion on earth.
Figure it out.
Other than Muslim. They the head in charge. Would you agree? They in every corners. Read. Now give me 2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus.
Apostle Paul said, if he that cometh and teacheth another Jesus. If someone come and try to teach you another Jesus, read.
Whom we have not preached.
Whom the Bible doesn't speak about, read.
Or if you receive another spirit.
Believe it or not, this image have a spirit behind it.
Right.
Have spirit of homosexuality.
Right.
Feminine spirit. That's why when you hear them talk, they speak very softly. Guess what? If Christ speaks softly, how did he teach 5,000 people at once?
Right.
There's no way you can amplify your voice to reach out to 5,000 persons and have a soft voice. That's already showing you a lie within itself. Read on.
And which ye have not received, or another gospel.
Another gospel. The other gospel is they're telling you that the so-called Jewish are the real Jews.
Right.
They call you Gentiles while they bring themselves up as the children of God. That's another gospel. Telling you, you don't have to keep the Sabbath day. You can worship on Sunday. That's another gospel.
Right.
Telling you, you don't need to keep those high holy days anymore. You don't need to eat, you can eat anything you want to eat. That's another gospel.
Right.
If they teach you another gospel, read on.
Which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear.
Read it again.
Which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
And it's our job to show you, prove you otherwise, thus said the Lord. Now we're going to give it to you in the Bible, and you yourself going to be the judge to it, to see have we been deceived. Now give me Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. Watch this. I want y'all to pay attention. We're about to prove to you that Christianity is a liar. Read.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Revelation mean what? What does that mean? The word revelation. What's the root word behind it? To what? To reveal. So you're about to get reveal how Christ is supposed to look like. Watch this. Look to
verse 14. His head and his hair were white like wool.
Hold on. The first thing he mentioned that his hair and his head were white like wool. Does this guy have white hair and woolly? I mean, would you safely say he got white and woolly hair? And his beard also? We can see that. That's a better description than what they give you here. You are reading out the Bible. This is not my own thing. We're reading it out the Bible. Read on.
As white as snow.
And it's telling you that it was white. So first of all, this guy has a straight hair, dog hair, and this guy has woolly hair. All right, read.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now the next thing he tell you, they say his eyes is red. Now pay attention. When we drink wine, what color is our white of the eyes turn to? Red. Or if you really angry or you upset, the darker your complexion is, the more you can see how quick the eyes turn red. Am I lying? No. We're reading. Guess what? Does this guy have red eye? No, it does not. Read.
And his feet.
Now we're talking about his feet. I see your feet. I know the rest of your body, what color the rest of your body will be like, right? Now John is telling you what he saw when he saw Christ's feet. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Brown. Now he's telling you he saw Christ's feet in a brown complexion light. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Now he compare it as if that brown was burned in a furnace. You burn brass in a furnace. What color will it turn? Dark. A dark brown complexion. That's the image of Christ. Not this Edomite right here, not this so-called white man. We've been lied to.
Right.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us a spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.